while ago, you had, I think, the Ministry of Tourism had released some guidelines for restaurants that I think Dine Out had
Yes,
kind of, drafted. Also, you're offering something called Save to Eat Out tag to to some of your partners.
correct.
Would you like to tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. So I think those two initiatives were started off. The first, which is so we actually started a campaign called Support Restaurants .in. The idea was at the initial stage of the lockdown, as I said, there's restaurants typically have very little operating cash available for on a long-term basis. So a typical average restaurant has only 15 days of cash flow to survive. After that, it becomes very difficult because it's a very continuous sort of a business. And if restaurants come at a standstill, they don't have money to sort of operate beyond 15 to 20 days. So at that initial stage of the lockdown, where everyone was caught unaware, we started the Support Restaurant .in movement. The idea behind this was very simple. We were selling vouchers for the future for our restaurant partners at a discount from the consumer to the consumer. So you could typically buy a 1,000 rupee voucher for, let's say, 500 rupees or 750 rupees, and this amount would get transferred immediately to the restaurant to help in the short-term need, and the consumer could go and consume food for the till 6 months or 9 months once the restaurants reopened. So it was sort of a win-win for everyone involved. So that campaign did really well during the initial phases of the lockdown when restaurants really needed the cash flow. The second thing that we did when we were now in the unlock phase and when things were being spoken about the unlock and how it's going to go, we collaborated with the Ministry of Tourism and released a set of white paper or released a white paper with a set of guidelines as to how the unlock should happen, what precautions restaurants need to take, what safety measures they need to follow. So, for example, as early as May or June, when we had released the white paper, we had advocated that the restaurants should set apart tables 2 meters apart. Capacity should be reduced to 50%. And in fact, now some of the government mandates have come where it's even gone beyond of 33%, etc. So these are some of the things that we had done working very closely with the industry and with the Ministry of Tourism.
Okay. I think, do you want to tell me something about your gourmet passport? Because I just received a communication today about synergizing some
Yeah.
of the platforms to create what is called a gourmet passport.
Dine Out, yes.
Tell us about that. Tell us now what's new.
Sure. So Gourmet Passport was our fine dine membership program, premium dining membership program. It was applicable at the top 2,000 restaurants in India, which included great 5 stars and great standalone restaurants. And it enabled a consumer to get a 1+1 during their meals, buffets, drinks, etc. Now, what we realized after the lockdown is obviously, 1+1 is a huge discount to give away from a restaurant's perspective, especially in the current scenario. And we also had other membership products. So we actually looked at reducing the burden on the restaurants. And we have sort of, taken the best from Gourmet Passport. We had a 5-star membership program called Dine Out Plus, take the best from that and merged it into one program, which is called Dine Out Passport, which will give benefits to our consumers across, again, the top 2,000 restaurants across the country, but in a very sustainable manner. And that's been the objective. And I think it's a great program for the consumer and for the restaurants both.
Absolutely. That seems like a very fantastic move. Just one more question.
Yeah.
How do you see the entire segment evolve in not just in terms of technology, but in terms of trends, in terms of how our dining experiences will change, dining out experiences will change.
Sure.
Will we in any near conceivable future see a segment that is as vibrant or anywhere close to what we were, say, before March, prior to March?
Yeah.
That's pretty much a long haul.
Sure. No, I think that's a great question. And let me actually first, try to answer about the future of the industry. So to be honest, we are very optimistic on the restaurant industry and very bullish. And the reason for that is that, yes, there will be some short-term pain and there will be restaurants shutting down. But the restaurant that survive because of various measures. So right now, the number one paramount importance for a restaurant is to make their customers feel safe. So restaurants which are able to do that, restaurants which are able to showcase that, they're taking the best hygiene and safety precautions and measures, which are able to sustain, will see a huge inflow of people, purely because of the simple fact that dining out, in our opinion, will be the fastest sort of a experience or industry to bounce back, purely because now we are not going to have leisure travel anytime soon in the future. In fact, we just got to know yesterday that now international travel is being banned again till the 30th of November. And people are still very wary of traveling outside the city, etc. For holidays. So holidays, the way it used to be earlier, will not happen. That's one. Second, we also now know that cinema halls have just opened, but at a very reduced capacity, etc. And people would not want to be in a confined space with other people. So that leaves dining out as the only source of experience which gives people the feeling of normalcy. And for that short period of time, it gives them this experience of, okay, like we're back to the pre-COVID level. So we believe that that will lead to the increase in dining out. And in fact, we are seeing some great numbers coming out already. So in the if I compare to a pre-COVID level, we are already at nearly 50% of pre-COVID across as an aggregate when I look at a platform. But in some cities, for example, Ahmedabad, etc., we are at nearly 80% pre-COVID numbers from a dining out perspective. Obviously, Mumbai and Pune have just opened up. So those are like around 20-25%. But at an aggregate level, we are at around 50 to 60%. And we believe this number could go up to around 75 to 80% by December. So that is one trend that is definitely going to sort of increase in the future. The other thing also, what is going to be boosting this is that, again, as I said, people are locked up in their houses. They want a little bit of a change. And from a work experience also, now we are a lot of offices and companies are still in a work from home mode. So people want that sense of normalcy. When you cannot go to office, you cannot interact. This is actually the only form of social interaction possible that is left. And if it's done in a safe manner, I think people are going to adopt, and we are already seeing that. So from that perspective, we are seeing, we see the bounce back happening a lot faster than we had earlier anticipated. In terms of trends, I think the most important trend that is going to come out of this is that menus are going to change drastically and are going to reduce in the length or the quantity, and it's going to become a lot more specialized. So what I mean by that is that, pre-COVID, if we look at menus of restaurants, average restaurant had 300 to 400 dishes on their menu. However, a typical menu, only 30% of the dishes are ordered more than 80% of the time. So, but as a kitchen, they had to prepare for all those dishes. So there was a lot of wastage, etc. happening. Now, with the cost pressure coming in, we believe that restaurants will now start sticking to what they're good at and what they're basic. So we already started seeing where, 3 to 400 dishes menu have now reduced to 100 odd dishes. Menu specialist. So there was a trend of multi-cuisine restaurants across the board, pre-COVID. Now, again, we see the new formats of restaurants opening up will be specialized towards a cuisine, etc. So, which will help, them to do their job better with their, and help them differentiate as well. See, differentiation is also going to be a key going forward. So all these kind of changes we are seeing will definitely sort of happen, and we're already seeing that happen.
That's actually very good news. Maybe we'll see a far more vibrant, far more interesting industry than we have as of now. Maybe this was the catalyst for the change that we actually required.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we will survive and come back. Thank you so much, Ankit, for being with us this afternoon. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Completely. Thank you.
Sorry, I missed that. Yeah.
I enjoyed the conversation. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Me too. Thanks.